I am here live. I have some awesome news to share with all of you as I'm here enjoying the beautiful, picture perfect day in Oakland. That's right. I'm right in Oakland right now. Don't come try to find me. I want some peace. With all that said, there's a little lesson that I learned, and I'm hoping it will help all of you and inspire all of you to keep pushing as photographers, videographers, as creatives. It's getting tougher and tougher every day, every month, and every year, right? We have inflation. We have an influx of people who could buy a camera and get into photography very easily. We're up against a lot right now. So it's imperative that as well as you are trying to improve your skills as a photographer or videographer, that you also take the time to improve your business sense. Hey, how's it going? Appreciate you jumping on in. Appreciate you watching. And today, I really want to focus on what were those few key factors that made a huge difference. Now, before I share with you what are some of those practices that I have done that have made the biggest impact in my photography career, which led up to a awesome situation for me recently, I want to give you some context. First is that recently I just got hired to be a full-time, that means with benefits and everything, equity in a company, videographer for a tech company here in San Francisco. And it was all due to my creative ability, meaning my years of being a photographer and my years of my video experience as well as a filmmaker and a video producer, right? And after all those years, that's what has helped me and aligned me up to be able to be prepared to get this job that I did. Now, this job is paying pretty good, and it's giving me everything I need so that I can create the work that I do for this channel and everywhere else on my terms. It came to the realization, just the way the economy is going, that I had to look at to project not only where do I want to be comfortably financially, but also where is the market going in terms of their demand for photographers and videographers. And that led me to not wanting to lower the standards of my work. Now, to do that, that means you have to be in a financial position where you're not hungry for every dollar and chasing every dime that crosses your path. Because if you are, you're going to be taking gigs and wasting a lot of time on creative endeavors that really aren't serving your purpose, right? That's really not helping you improve as a photographer, videographer, and it's certainly not making you happy. So, with all that said, I recently applied for, I saw a full-time position they needed an in-house videographer for their company to work full-time, creating all sorts of whatever content they need. And I knew everybody and their mom was probably applying for this job because it's right in downtown. It's for a tech startup. The pay looked good, and it said full benefits and everything else. I said, oh man, everybody wants this job. I applied, and then after about 2 months worth of back and forth interviews, I got the gig. And from my assessment of the process, as well as asking key questions at the end when I got the offer, because I was curious what were those few things that helped separate me from so many people I know that wanted the same job, that are folks like us right here on YouTube, photographers and videographers. So here are some key notes I took that I want to share with all of you so that you can make sure that you place yourself in a position where you're creating a body of work you like and that you're being paid what you like. Hello, remember, we do want to actually try to get compensated fairly for what we love to do. And a lot of times I notice that photographers that complain about getting paid is because, well, they need the money. And when you're in a sense of desperation, you kind of just take the gig. And then you complain about it online, or you come to me or whoever it is, and you're saying, hey, you know what? Honestly, I took the gig because I had to, but you really wouldn't have if you didn't have to. So the first key thing that, oh wait, before we get into it, make sure you smash the like button, okay? I see about a few of you in here, almost 20 of you in here. Definitely smash the like for me. Also, subscribe if you have not. I will be going live every Thursday, as I do, for Let's Talk Photography podcast and at 5 p.m. So if you have any questions about photography, videography, you definitely want to come join my live stream then. So that means this Thursday, even though I have this new job, I can still and will remain consistent with my live streams on Thursday. Now, so if you do have any photography questions related, or questions that are related to photography or videography, feel free to post them down below. But today we're really talking about our business ethics and practices in order for us to level up. Okay, little boring topic, but it must be talked about. So here's the first thing that allowed me to put myself in a position to be able to get a job that pays quite well, and I could still be a videographer, photographer. Okay, so first is that I diversified. If you've been following me for some time, you already know I've been telling you that photography alone will no longer cut it. And during the past 2 years, inflation has skyrocketed, and the cost of living, etc., has skyrocketed. Cost of our gear always gets more expensive, right? And people aren't quick enough to pay the rates to keep up with the inflation all the time. Some do, some don't. So, and on top of it, we have an influx of new photographers always entering the market. So competition is thick. So one thing you could do is raise your rates. You could totally do that. But in my case, I just diversified. That was the first thing I did, was diversify. I started offering different services. The most immediate service you can offer that's extra, that will impact your bottom line, is going to be video. As I've been saying for the past year, you got to get into video. The market's already been telling us for a long time, you got to get into video. Look at all the new features, new latest upgrades that have been implemented in firmware updates have been all video centric. So clearly they're trying to tell you, you need to get into video some particular form if you're looking to make money. Me, I am, because this is what I do full time. So I got to make some money. So that was the first thing, is diversify, diversify, diversify. Just in case, as we know, AI eats up a portion of your potential clients, which if you're doing still photography, especially if you're doing stock photography, stuff like that, the AI is going to come and chew some of that up. AI is going to come chew some of that up. And that's just the way it is. With all that said, diversifying is going to help you to stay nimble and be able to still potentially make some money off of what you love. For me, that was video, and it's paying dividends. Okay, it's been paying dividends. How? Because this job that I just landed is literally a full-time videographer position. Now, if I just stayed in photography for the 13 years that I've been doing this, then I would be a step behind. I'd still be chasing after headshots, weddings, etc. Now, I could still do those, but I could do it on my time and for the price I want. Otherwise, I'd just go to work and be a videographer and collect my salary. So that's one thing. You got to diversify or die. Diversify or die. Think of many ways in which you could use your photography and videography skills and figure out ways to make income off of that. Okay? First thing is get into video. Get into video, get into video. Second thing is having a well-developed portfolio. That was like one of the things that they noticed me compared to the other applicants for this full-time job, was that, well, I had a fantastic portfolio. They said they really liked it, and it showcased photography and videography projects. So they've seen that I did short films. I've done a few commercials here. I've also no one owns me, brother. So I don't know what you mean. Who owns me? They can see clearly on my portfolio where my talent lies. They can see I've done YouTube, I live stream, I do all these things. So when they were hiring for a videographer, they wanted somebody that knows how to do all those, no questions asked. They want to know, can I handle their live streaming capabilities? Can I handle editing, post-processing, color grading, as well as just shooting the camera, getting good audio, and understand lighting? Well, your portfolio is going to say all of that. Are you any good at farming? Yeah, I don't know about farming, but I'm good at photography and videography, so that's kind of an interesting question. So with all that said, your portfolio is going to clearly let people know where your specialty lies and why they should be paying you X. So you need to have a very well thought out and straight to the point website that displays the quality of your work. Because remember, your website is where your best work is displayed, and your Instagram and social media is where your latest work is. Okay, so with all that said, there's two differences on why you have both, right? Clearly, for two different objectives. So if you want to post your latest work and update people on what you got going on, then that's what social media is for. But if you want to display your best work, you gotta have a website, your such and such name.com, that you gotta have it, because that's what they're gonna look at before they consider even having their first interview with you to land such a gig. Now, I'm not sure what you're looking for, person here, but the comment is, I think you got the wrong channel with these questions. Okay, the next thing that I want to share with all of you is come prepared. That was one of the biggest indicators that I was ready for this job that they were offering. Is that he said, "Oh, you came prepared." Now, the tech company had their own camera gear, but I came not only with my own camera gear, I came with lighting, I came with sound and audio, I came with even extra accessories I may have needed, and also I came with creative ideas to pull off the project, because the last interview was a video project. I had to actually hang out at the company for a day, film tons of B-roll, and then produce a video that's cohesive, that is in line with with the company mission. So I did that, and then edited, flipped the project over in about 6 hours. And they said one of the key things that they noticed is that I came super prepared. I came with the gear, I knew what I was doing, and I needed little to no questions in order for me to pull off the project. At the end, they said your project was extremely high quality. So they really liked not only was my capability of pulling this off, because I've been diversifying for years. It wasn't just staying in photography. I was also including videography in my skill set. Then, and then I came prepared, because while going into video, you have to learn audio, you have to learn camera movement. Of course, composition and lighting is right there. And a lot of times I went and bought the gear. Okay, if I needed to solve a problem because my video wasn't that good, I went and looked for the gear that was going to solve X problem, and I went and got it. So when I showed up to this interview, because I knew I was up against so many other videographers, I came with all the gear that I've been collecting over time, you know? So that was one thing, come well prepared, having all the necessary gear. If you want to get paid the top dollar, you better have access to, right? Or own your own gear. I mean, that's just I would figure is 101. But I was told that a lot of videographers that did come and want to do this interview actually didn't have all the gear. They wanted to use the company's gear, and which was kind of odd, because if you're already a professional and you've been doing this full time, you should have already bought or collected your own set of gear. So, and me, I like to use my own brushes. I don't like using another artist's brushes. So even though that I was hired and they have their own camera, I actually insisted that I continue to bring my own camera, my own lenses, because I understand how that camera works and I could get the best out of it. That's because I came prepared. Now, the next thing is post-processing. Now, not everybody post-processes their photos. I always did from day one is to educate myself not only on photography, but how to post-process my work. That means editing, not only in Lightroom, but also in Photoshop. That was one thing I always wanted to become proficient at. Now, when I got more into video, guess what? I tripled down on that and have taught myself how to use Adobe Premiere. Now, I'm not an expert at After Effects, but Adobe Premiere I'm very proficient at, and that's just by trial and error, just like understanding Lightroom and Photoshop. But that adds another tool set in my quiver, if you will, another arrow that I can utilize, and thus make me have the presentability of being more professional than the person next to me. Because yes, not only can I shoot good video, but I can edit it myself. Because the position that I just landed, requires me to not only shoot good video, but also how to edit it myself. They don't want to hire another editor. And I'd rather keep all the money right here, right in my own pocket. So I can't overestimate how important it is for you to learn how to post-process your own work, so that even when you do outsource your editing, then you will know how to communicate with those editors and get the best out of them. And they know they're talking to someone who's on their level, a colleague, if you will, and therefore you're going to be less, you'll get the most out of them, and they'll probably take less advantage of you too, because you understand what it takes and the value that they bring or don't bring. The next thing is a quick turnaround. Because I've been diversifying my skill set, getting into video, and over the years I've been making good work, bad work, and in between work, but I've been understanding and learning and growing into video as much as my photography, right? And then I understand how to do my own post-processing. I understand how to use my own gear. That allows me to provide a quick turnaround. That was one of the key factors that my current employer not recommended, they actually demanded. They want a quick turnaround with the videos. They want to know, can I not only create high quality work, but can I turn it around quick enough? Because they're a tech company. They want to get the product. They want to get things produced, and they want to get it out there. Therefore, if you're sitting there still trying to learn stuff and fumbling around and thinking outsourcing is going to be great for every situation, you're going to be slower. It'll make you less efficient, and you probably wouldn't have gotten this gig. In my situation, since this is a small tech startup company, I have to hold many hats. But as soon as we're in a position where I could hire someone, I'm going to hire an editor, quite honestly, for the first person that I would have them join my creative team. Until then, I'm the editor, I'm the sound guy, I'm the gaffer, okay? I'm the photographer, I'm the videographer, I'm everything right now. So you have to really be able to turn around these projects so that they don't pile up on you, and then thus you're looking like a klutz, stumbling over projects you should have already been had done and completed. You want to be able to not only meet expectations, but rather exceed expectations. That's the name of the game. Because right now, everybody's expendable. You know this. Someone's getting fired somewhere. Jobs aren't secure. There's nothing that is guaranteed. So you've got to be able to produce quality content in an efficient manner and exceed expectations. Hey, thank you very much, Rod. I really appreciate the new subscription. I really appreciate that. Longtime photo enthusiast looking to improve my video skills. Yes, you've come to the right channel. I'm going to be helping you. Don't worry about that. I talk a lot about video and I talk a lot about photography, so we're going to have fun. Recently picked up a Nikon ZF. Oh, fantastic. And the Lumix S5 Mark II X. Fantastic, Rod. I really enjoy the insights from your videos and live streams. Awesome. Thank you very much. And highs and flows, thank you very much for jumping on in. Thank you all. If you can, please smash that like button for me. So back to what I was saying about quick turnaround. So Rod, for your instance, since you have the Nikon ZF and Lumix S5 Mark II X, fantastic, because I own both. Well, I have the S5 Mark II. And I have the ZF, and I have the Z8 and the Z9. So you've come to the right channel. I share nothing but anything Nikon and Lumix camera-based related videos. So if you have any questions, let me know. I worked for Lumix for 3 years, so I can help you out with that as well. And most importantly is that I'm a full-time videographer, as I mentioned earlier in the stream. And now, because of the fact that I've spent 13 years, I just got hired, and I'm a very happy camper. I'm still have my photography and videography clients, and if God is good, next year I can clear 6 figures very, 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 very easily. Rod, oh, your channel influenced those hey, man, I really appreciate it. I didn't mean for you to make money off my recommendations, but I'm glad you made them. You won't be sorry. The S5 Mark II X is the best valued cinema camera on the market, bar none. Bar none. Okay, no one can prove me wrong because they can't. All right, so great purchases you made, and keep me posted on the progress, okay? Feel free to tag or email me questions. Highs and flows. No, I'm not in France. I am in Oakland. This is Oakland right here, guys. Take a look. Take a look at Oakland. Bam. We got Oakland. This is Lake Merritt right here. If you guys can see that. It's a beautiful sunny day. So with all that said, oh, hold on, let me change this up. There we go. I would love to be in France. I would love to be in France. That'd be amazing. If I go to France, I'll do a photo walk. Okay, so subscribe, stay tuned. It's not out of the question to go to France, but I'll definitely want to meet up with some of you who are in France. That would be phenomenal. Definitely, we got to do some, maybe get a model or two and do some street fashion photography. That'd be pretty dope in France. If you have any questions, post them down below. Okay, so the second to last thing I wanted to talk about is understanding the overall direction of the economy. I know this is a nerdy topic, but if you're looking to make this a part-time or full-time gig, you really have to understand the basic economics, right? You got to look at inflation. You have to look at your cost of living, cost of goods sold, right? You're like, how much does it cost for you to produce X? How much does it really cost for you to travel? You know, make sure you're charging traveling fees, first of all. So with all that said, when I watch the news, I'm looking for economic indicators and how that may affect me as an entrepreneur. You need to do that as well. So therefore, when you are asking for a salary, that you're getting paid and you're covered not only the amount of your what costs for your expenses, but also that it exceeds it, and thus you're thriving and not surviving. That's the name of the game. I want to try to help and make sure that you're thriving, not surviving. Okay. And that means you have to first understand how much do you actually need as a creative to survive. Like dollar for dollar, how much do you need? You should know how much it costs for you to exist per month. Then you could ask yourself or me or someone else, how much should you charge for said kind of gig, for weddings or headshots, etc. But if you don't understand not only how much to charge yourself, then you're just shooting in the dark. I know plenty of new photographers that do that, and they're like, look, I'm getting all these gigs, but I'm still hustling out here. Well, it's clearly because you don't understand how much you actually do need, and then also where the state of the economy is and how that may influence you down the line. Okay, so sometimes you have to, what I mentioned earlier, that's why having to diversify is key and not staying stagnant in one area. Dabble in photography, dabble in video, because that is the future. The future is video. I'm telling you. And people pay more for video off top. Hey, King Krug, good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please smash that like. I'd really appreciate it. It's good to see you. And as I said earlier, that I will be going live this Thursday for another live episode of Let's Talk Photography, where we talk everything about photography and video production. So if you have any questions about specifics, about cameras, or you just want to come talk some ish about photography, well, tune in every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you go follow me on all the socials. The links are in the description section down below. Now, let's get to the last key point that made all the difference, that allowed me to be in a position where I can get a full-time gig working for a tech company, being a videographer for them. Last thing is that you have to be likable, okay? People do business with people, and more than likely, they do business with people they like. So even if you knew everything, and you had all the best gear, the Zeiss lenses and the whatnots, you had it all. If people don't like you, they don't like you. They're not going to do business with you, and they for sure are not going to pay you, thus invest in you, if they don't like you. You got to be able to sell yourself. That's probably 80% of this game, is selling yourself. I've seen photographers that are honestly probably not as good as me, but they are everywhere. Why? Because they're great at selling themselves. So more power to them. Mazel tov. I think that's fantastic. But it's a key component. If you want to be an artist, no matter what creative genre, you have to be able to sell yourself. That is number one. Part of that is being a personable person. Someone they can imagine hanging out with, being fun with, listening to, as I blab for this past 25 minutes. You have to be someone they like. You have to be approachable. That's all these soft skills that a lot of people don't understand, that make some of the greatest impact. During my interview process, I'm sure there were people with more degrees than me or whatever that I was up against. But people like me. They just like talking to me. They felt good when they're talking to me. Therefore, that helps to instill some confidence on not only my ability, but that they actually want to keep me around for more than a day or two. So that is the last point I wanted to make that helps to, that made all the difference for me, that from being a no-name photographer in a one-bedroom apartment to now being able to be a full-time videographer for a tech company, is that I made all these simple steps that made the biggest difference. And well, I didn't talk about this before, but the other thing is that I was patient and persistent. I can't emphasize that more. Being patient and persistent, patiently putting one foot in front of the other, taking that next photo, shooting just to shoot, okay? Getting a reason to get outside the house and create some content. I wasn't good at talking to videos like I am right now. Hell, 2 or 3 years ago. Now I could turn this thing on and I'm talking to you for 25 minutes straight. I used to have use teleprompters, scripts, and everything. And now it's become so much more comfortable for me. So I know if I was able to get out of my comfort zone and my paranoia of how I may look outside in public as I'm talking to all of you, I just did it. And over a period of time, I got better at it, got better at it. And then what does that do? It helps those who don't know me instill confidence that I know what I'm talking about, and the fact that you can look at my portfolio and I live exactly what I'm telling you. So anyway, I want to say thank you all for hanging out with me this afternoon. It's a picture perfect day. Look at it. Look at this. It's beautiful out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Can't complain. Okay. I'll give you guys a minute. Let me know if you have any questions down below. All right. If you're wondering about the mic, I'm using a DJI Lav mic, the first version. Got that with the little dead cat here. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. I assume so. The mic levels look good. I do have a nice video coming out on Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notification of my next video that will be coming out. Hey, thank you, Easy. Very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. And of course, as I said earlier, Thursday, I will be going live for another live stream of Let's Talk Photography. I will be doing a live photo critique this Thursday. That's what we'll be talking about. If you want to submit your portrait photos, any portrait photography photos are allowed. Okay, make sure you email them to me. Find my email down below, and it's info@robertsilverphotography.com. Submit your portraits if you would like them to be critiqued live during my episode of Let's Talk Photography. That's on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, I have a few submissions and I have a lot more space available, and I'd love to be able to give you professional, honest advice on how to improve your photography, or just give you your props for an awesome photo you took. So again, if you want to submit your photos, you can submit up to 5 photos. Do it to info@robertsilverphotography.com. Okay. If for those that are in here right now, make sure you smash the like button for me, please. And let me know if you have any questions or anything. Hey, Rod, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the tips. Really do. I'm out here enjoying a good, cold, well, it used to be cold, hazy IPA right here. And it tastes fantastic right now. It's like, it's not room temperature, but it's cool enough, you know? All right. So, as I said, if you put some of these into action right there, if you put some of that into action, I guarantee you'll see direct impact to your photography and videography career, right? Diversify or die. Having a well-developed portfolio. Coming and showing up prepared. There's a saying that goes, 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. All right, if you live by that, you'll always be prepared. Next thing is learn how to post-process, not only photos, but video as well. If you're getting into video, you better be subscribing to DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. You gotta learn how to edit. That is half the battle, and it'll save you a lot of money because you'll be editing and you don't have to outsource it. The other thing is being able to meet and exceed your client's expectations. That's gonna be clutch. Thus, being able to deliver a quick turnaround. You wanna be able to do that. I had until Monday to hand in. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that you thought this information is useful. My project was due on Monday, starting from Friday when I recorded it. It was due on Monday. I handed in the project Saturday morning, okay? I want to show them clearly that they're dealing with a professional. So being able to deliver a quick turnaround. Other thing is understanding the overall direction of the economy and how that's going to impact you as a business. That's why you need to diversify or die. It's just like investing. When it comes to your skill sets and your it's like investing in stocks. You need to diversify to stay afloat and be able to weather the storm. Same thing with photography and videography. You need to diversify your skill set in order to be adaptable no matter what happens in the economy. And the last thing is you must be a likable. You must know how to sell yourself and be someone that other people want to be around and thus also want to refer you for other future gigs, okay? And last but not least is you must be persistent, okay? Persistent, 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 and consistent, okay? Getting out there, constantly making content, okay? Providing value to your clients, working on your craft, whether it be editing or the actual production side where you're shooting the content itself, okay? So with all that said, I am done and I'm gonna enjoy this beautiful sun out here. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know right now before I sign off. If you enjoy everything else, I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon to get notification for my upcoming content. And for those that know, like Greg and King Crud and now Rod, I'll see you all this Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another live stream episode of Let's Talk Photography. So, with all that said, I'm Robert Silver. Until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you, guys.